Hmm.
I don't really like Bluetooth headsets.
It's that time again. Time for the all new Culture Cast, which begins right now. All right.
Mm.
I'm drunk. Welcome back, everyone, to the all new Culture Cast for another gripping episode. I'm your host, Nick, and with me today is, of course, the Gorehound
Reporting live from the graveyard.
and cousin Charles.
I yeah,
I
try
was not expecting that.
trying something new, shaking it up.
That's what we need to do. That's what get us the clicks, the trying new things of your was that like a karate
Something like
high or
that. I have
something like
this
that?
little sort little letter cutter opener, so it just kind of
Oh,
inspired
nice
me.
find.
Yeah, I had a friend who did a trip to like Japan Japan. They
Oh, so it's
said
authentic.
sure, as
Yeah.
far as I know, as far as I'm aware.
Hey, no one can say otherwise. No one can tell
Exactly.
you no.
That's exactly right.
So, cuz what are we doing tonight and the next couple of weeks? Cuz this was your
This,
big idea,
this is my brainchild.
your brainchild.
Yep, which is incredible because I have a smooth brain. It's a scientific marvel. No, we are do. This is the start of a very special series. We're going to call the Summer of Superman. Um,
You didn't
I've
take
been
that idea from DC Comics, did you?
Month of Superman, not not
James.
not
James,
summer.
don't sue. Uh, probably. I mean, probably. I probably heard it somewhere, but um, in case you're listening to this in the future and don't know what the current where our current point is in space time, we're about a week out from the release of the brand new James Gunn written Superman, which I have been very, very, very excited for, and cannot. And I'm hoping to put. Hopefully, it'll be a lot better than the last DCU attempt at Superman. So,
Nerd.
yeah, I
Well,
know, but
cuz I'll tell you how it is tomorrow because I scored early tickets to see the movie.
oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
because I have Amazon Prime and you can get like tickets for a showing tomorrow night if you're a Prime member.
Ooh, Mr. Fancy Pants with his Prime membership.
Where you going?
Charlestown,
Okay.
Are you gonna dress up in your full Superman getup?
maybe.
I could go with Superman.
You could. You could just stand outside and let people take pictures with you and get some like cash.
Clicks. It's all about the clicks.
How much would how much should I charge for one photo
Uh,
with a half-assed Superman?
$30.
see how
30 bucks easy.
start high and negotiate down and see what people will let you do. Target families with kids. That's the
I'm
goal.
I'm running a special for $80. You want a photo?
And you gotta be hitting a vape pen the whole time. Like,
And texting.
yeah. Just like, yeah, whatever. uh but no, going back to the plans for this series. So in celebration of what's hopefully going to be a new chapter in the story of Superman or Superman in the movies, we decided to take a look back, kind of a little bit of throwback what we did a couple years ago when we would do like I think we did some of the the Frankenstein movies. We
Oh
did the
yeah,
Jaws
I
movie.
subjected all you guys to the Frankenstein movies.
Yeah. So so in the spirit of that, for the next couple weeks, we've got a smorgasbord of Superman, more Superman than you can throw a stick at. We're going to begin tonight with the OG,
Kirk
Superman's
Allen?
one. What?
Kirk Allen?
Sure. I'll be honest. I have no idea who that is.
He was the
Who
first live action Superman back in the 1940s or 50s when they had the old-timey serials.
Okay, we're not
not as
going
cute
that
as
old.
Christopher Reeves though?
We're going for big cinematic Supermen. Sorry, TV and radio. It's time for the big movie pictures to step up. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just kind of I'm kind of spitballing here.
Keep
So
going.
We're
You're
we're
cooking.
we're
You're
watching
cooking.
the first and second Superman.
Yep, which is actually appropriate because fun fact, both these movies were shot back to back.
Sort
Uh,
of,
or there
which
were
we'll get
parts of it that
into.
were that were produced back to back.
Mm.
That was the initial plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Do we have
Yeah.
a bit of a history lesson with this one?
Oh, do we ever?
Oh man, prepared materials.
Wait,
So we're looking at, yeah, the first the first two Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Superman the movie, although just called Superman in the actual movie, and Superman 2. More Superman,
more Zod.
more Zod, more kneeling.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to get into that because I'll be honest, I'm coming at this with a bit of a unique perspective
Okay.
because I watched the original Superman as like a kid, like so I have pretty good fond memories of it. I did not grow up watching Superman 2, so this was actually my first time seeing it. Now, granted,
Really?
yeah, now granted there are stuff that kind of is spilled into the cultural lexicon. Kneel before Zod.
That came from this movie?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
I'm just being
you're more of a nerd than me. I have no.
I'm just
Correct
being
me.
I'm just being a smart aleck.
Oh you. Oh you.
Dun, 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 dun. That's Nick.
Yeah, but I got some thoughts on Superman 2. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would.
Interesting. Interesting. We'll get into that. Now, Gorehound, this is the first time you implied in our text chain that this is the first time you've seen any of these. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I've never seen these before.
Which is kind of wild to me. But I guess
Yeah,
we can't see every movie.
I grew up as a Batman boy, so I just didn't really like Superman. I like Batman was where it was at for me.
You like the idea of a grown man taking orphans and putting them in tight red costumes, don't you?
Even now, I don't know why I liked Batman. But now it's just I see such a stark divide between like the Marvel and the DC superheroes. Um, and I can't get behind many DC characters at this point.
What's wrong with you?
Just admit it.
I'm trying to be a better man.
Just admit you became a Batman fan as a kid because you knew one day they were going to cast Robert Pattinson as the Batman.
I should rewatch that one. Gosh, I remembered it just being. I think it was like really long, like 3 hours, 3 hours plus.
Super long.
Yeah,
Right.
it's on a side note for that. The Batman is probably one of those like it was a really good movie that I'll never watch again.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, it's just like it doesn't have the same appeal as like something like The Dark Knight.
Right.
Like
I just like a superhero movie should not be 3 hours long unless it's I don't know,
well,
like
And Avengers Endgame over there is like sweating.
yeah,
well,
no,
fun,
the blue guy, the blue naked guy, who was that one? The Watchman. That one deservedly deserved that runtime. That was fine, but
uh, it's funny you bring up superhero movies shouldn't be longer than 3 hours because, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be in a treat at the end of this series, but we won't spoil anything yet.
But before we jump into Superman 1 or 2, um, Gorehound, do you have a
I don't
man,
mind being put on the spot today.
man crush on the man crush of the week?
I'm going to throw to a particular goblin referred to as John Goblikon. Have you guys heard of John Goblikon?
Uh-uh.
I must be getting old.
Or the metal band Necro Goblikon. So John Goblikon.
Pretend like we don't.
It's an odd offshoot, but John Goblikon is a member of the metal band Necrogoblikon. Um, and John Goblikon has his own podcast where he is talking with people as a goblin because he is a goblin. And it is just the most entertaining thing ever. And I just got tickets to see him at Zany's this year.
Very nice. When's his
So
performance?
sometime in the fall.
Right for Halloween season?
Yeah, yeah. So come talk to me about John Goblikon if you'd like.
Well, I'll be damned. Huh, he is a little goblin.
Oh, he's so much fun, and he's got so much attitude as a podcast host. And he just brings on people, and they sometimes they just have a difficult time talking with a goblin. And he does have, I think he had Paul Sheeran along with some other more notable names in the comic industry.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking right now. There's a few names I recognize. Oh, Ron Funches was on one. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. And if you have because I'm very anti-commercial. Actually, I'll withhold that. But Spotify app has some video episodes of podcasts, and right now with John Goblikon has some video episodes. So that's what I've been watching in my spare time.
All right.
Next to Superman 1 and about 20 minutes of Superman 2. Because I did not even bother with the second one. It was too weird for me, man.
Which is a wild thing to say. And
Mhm.
given like the state of comic book movies today, 'cause like this movie, both one and two, are very quaint, very products of their time. They didn't have like the all-star budget where they could like do like crazy things where Superman's not like juggling planets or all of that. Everything was done practical in-house sort of things. The only bad guys were like petty thugs, and in the second one, three other Supermen. So, you know, and even in even three and four, which we'll get into eventually, uh, same level of like threat level going on there. We didn't have any of the zanier stuff like aliens falling from the sky or like in the
I
new
don't know if
one.
I was just too unprepared for this, but like it was, I could not wrap my head around this. Just like Christopher Reeve in this outfit and like his first like real talk with Lois Lane and how much sexual energy there was in that. I was like, I don't know what this is.
It it's it's inherently very bizarre in this, especially in the second movie. Like the first movie, they have kind of like pretty good chemistry, I would say. Second movie, Superman's acting like this is the first girl who's ever kissed me, so I'm gonna marry her immediately and do all sort like he's speed running the relationship. Like
Well,
absolutely speed running it like a damn like as if he's got 5 seconds to live.
he's got to lock that down. You know, he can't.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't get her pregnant, or does he? Future
Uh,
episode.
uh well that well yeah and and again, while I did say at the top of the show, I have a soft spot for the first Superman. I still enjoy it for what it is. I gotta admit, both these movies had let's just call it what it is, pretty terrible endings. Like they just sort of end, and there's no real like kind of like what did we learn here? What was the takeaway from all this? Like it's
Well, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Like,
I was
how do you feel? Because I might push back on this, okay?
okay.
So I want you to start cooking. Like, what do you mean by, especially with the first one? I'll well, the second one's going to be its own conversation here momentarily, but like, why do you feel the first one didn't have a good ending?
Okay, so it's got a good setup. It's like, okay, Superman, I'm giving you an impossible choice. There are two missiles going to two different parts of the country. There's no way that you could stop both missiles at the same time.
These Lux, these missiles.
Yeah,
For everyone who's familiar with how it should have ended.
yeah. um, but so with that being said, it's like, okay, pretty good setup. How's Superman going to get out of this? He stops the one missile because, well, one, he only gets out of it because Miss Tessmacher's mom happened to live in like Hoboken, New Jersey, or somewhere like that.
Hackensack.
Hackensack, that's right. Which, why not just Metropolis? Like,
Well, that's where Lex was at. Why would you want to blow up your own where you're at the moment?
oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
And he
point.
needed the land. Metropolis is theoretically New York, so he wanted like the
Yeah.
beachfront property. A flawless scheme, if I ever heard one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did like his idea. I was like, wow, like villains used to like really explain this all to us.
Well,
Very simple plot.
well, yeah. I want to dive into my thoughts on Gene Hackman's Lex. But okay, back to Superman 1's ending. Okay, stops the first missile, rushes back over to California. The missiles hit the San Andreas vault. He's doing all these incredible things. He's doing all these incredible things. He's repairing the fault line. He's holding up a train as it's crossing over. Holding up a train as to let it ride over him because the track is gone.
Yeah, that's
He's
pretty badass.
yeah, he's damming a waterfall. He's doing all these crazy things, but unfortunately, he couldn't save the woman that he loved. And
Mhm.
and in a moment, and again, this is where it gets hard to criticize because it is both iconic and incredibly stupid at the same time. He just decides, yeah, I'm going to. I guess he just realizes I can go fast enough to turn back the rotation of the Earth, which which I don't get how that works because it shows that it undoes like all the damage caused by the missile, but then
Well, I feel like it was covered in the
presumably
Flash.
what?
I feel like that was covered in the Flash.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the Flash's gimmick is doing stuff like that, but Superman I guess did it first here.
Well,
So
oh,
it
go
goes
ahead, go
back
I
in
ahead.
don't
time.
think I don't think that they gave a shit who
Probably
did it. They were just like, hey, some DC
Yeah.
superhero did it, so why can't
Yeah.
I?
no one will no one will notice. Um,
But can you
but
imagine the catastrophic changes that would have made
yeah,
if he just stopped the
which
spin and then reactivated the spin again?
he does go back in the opposite direction to get the Earth spinning properly. I still don't know because like if he's going back, wouldn't that also mean the missiles haven't exploded yet? If he's putting everything back to the way it was like 30 seconds, like 5 minutes ago, like the missiles would still be in the air, or is that just
So, so here is how I've always interpreted that.
okay?
He goes back in time. I don't think he literally does the orbit of the Earth backwards. I think that's just like our visual representation, like, oh, he's going back in time. And he goes back in time far enough where he's able to
No, he
stop the two
literally does that.
missiles.
He literally does that.
Yeah, the Earth changes, dude.
I don't think you can figuratively make that argument.
But you also see like stuff going like in reverse, like the dam going back from not being
Right.
broken, this and that. So like he's going back in time. I guess
By going that fast.
But then
like
what
a
happened to
slingshot around the sun.
yeah? Thanks, Kirk.
Yeah. Listen, he goes back in time. I don't think it meant to be like he's like changing because if you change the orbit of the planet, then that's gonna fuck shit up. I think that's just his way of doesn't matter. He goes back in time. I think he goes back in time far enough to stop both missiles.
Oh yes, the Earth. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I agree with you. I stand down.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
but we never see him stop the missiles, which is fine. It's
it was
whatever.
implied. It was
I
implied.
guess. Anywho, but then so he goes back in time. You know, I guess by going back in time, it stopped the missiles. Lois
He
doesn't
could
get crushed,
turn
doesn't
back
get horribly
time.
crushed by an avalanche. It's just like what there are a couple like even though they're not showing gore, there's some pretty horrifying things that happen in these two movies.
Oh my God, suffocation would be like one of nightmare fuel for me, like whether it's underwater or like how being crushed by rubble like that.
Yeah. Like it's pretty like it's not like I'm going down the ravine. It's like no, you see her like getting slowly but surely engulfed by like dirt. Like that's horrifying.
They want to make you feel it.
Yeah. But yeah, so he goes back in time. Lois is okay. Marlon Brando's voiceover says, "You must not interfere with human history, my son." Which I'm like, I mean, if that's the case, why'd you send your super powerful son to a planet where he would basically be like a god?
Well,
Which wouldn't be a big deal until we get to Superman 2.
um, I think okay, couple of things. One, I think he means like you just can't go back in time and like change shit. Like if it happened, it happened. Don't be going back in time and fucking shit up. Don't be
Right.
like Barry. Don't what'd you do now, Barry?
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's what it was. Like he saw his father die, his human father, at the
Mhm.
beginning of the movie, and that affected him. Saying, with all my powers, I couldn't do anything. Now he has the powers. He knows what he needs to do, and he says, "Fuck it, I'm going to save the woman I love. Love conquers all."
Amen.
I, but then what's is there consequence? There's never really like consequences for that.
No,
And I think that's the big
but
thing.
yeah. Um, I think it's more of a moral thing than anything else. Like it's like poetry. When Superman snaps Zod's neck in Man of Steel, there's no consequences for that. Um, but he was very hurt and sad by it. Uh, so from what I remember, the ending of Superman 1 was changed at the last minute because Superman 1 and 2, like you said, were filmed together and they were supposed to be released like a year apart. But they were going way over budget. It was taking longer. They say, shoot, we need to get at least one of these out so we can get the profit from that movie to help finish the second movie. And originally, um, when Superman's flying around saving everything, one of the missiles he throws out into space to save everything, and that's when it explodes, and that's what releases Zod and them from the prison. And they're like, Earth,
Oh.
ah, and that's like to be continued. So they're like, no,
Mm.
let's just find a way to end it. And Superman going around the sun to prevent everything was originally how Superman 2 was supposed to end, because I guess Zod and them were like fucked up shit all everywhere. And Superman to fix that goes back in time. Now, that would have been awful because it makes zero sense in that regard. Um, which we'll get to because they ultimately did use that version of the ending in another version of Superman 2 that was released in 2005.
Which I will say, let's preface this. I watched, I guess, what would be considered the original cut of Superman 2. I did not
Mhm.
get a chance to watch the Donner cut.
It's not good, and
Oh,
that's
What?
a
How many different cuts
hot
are there?
hot take. There's two main cuts of Superman 2. The theatrical one, and then in 2005 there was what's called the Richard Donner cut. Now, after Richard Donner was the guy who directed Superman 1,
Okay.
and he and the producers of the movie, the Salkids, got into a really bad relationship. And basically, after Donner had shot 75% of the sequel, he was fired, and they brought on a different director who had to reshoot things to get director credit because of guild rules. So half of Superman 2 was done by like the original director, and half was done by this new director. And
Richard Lester, by the way.
yeah, Richard Lester. And
How do you know all of this?
because I know
Wikipedia.
things, because I'm a Superman guy.
You know more than the Wikipedia right now.
Um, but here's the thing: you could sort of identify if you're watching Superman 2 what scenes are from the original one and what scenes are from the new cut. And basically because when the new director came on, Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor, Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane, they had big issues with this. And a lot of the scenes, like Gene Hackman refused to come back. Marlon Brando refused to come back. So you'll notice there are various scenes in there where they use stand-ins and not voice actors, but yeah, voice actors to dub in new dialogue by Gene Hackman. And Marlon Brando was replaced by the actress who played Superman's mom, who's now a hologram in the Fortress of Solitude.
Mm.
Yeah, she
And
did
then,
get left out of the teach baby Clark everything.
yeah.
It was just Marlon Brando narrating for like 3 years.
Um, and then in 2005, Warner Brothers decided, hey, we can make money on the original cut of this movie. So they brought back Richard Donner to finish his version of the movie.
Mm.
Couple problems with that. There were several significant chunks of the movie that he didn't film that bridge story beats.
Mm.
One of them being the scene where Lois finds out that Clark is Superman. That was filmed, but was filmed by the new director. So Richard Donner took, and it sticks out like a sore thumb if you ever watch this version of the movie. Takes audition footage.
Which one is the more accepted one?
So it depends on who you talk to. A lot of people online think, oh, the Richard Donner version's clearly the superior version. These people are morons because it's not a finished, it's an interesting experiment of what could have been, and it's neat to see different parts of film footage, but you're missing chunks of narrative in the film. Like all of a sudden, the three Kryptonians come to Earth, and then the next scene they've taken it over. And you're missing all, like, how do they do that? You're missing it all. Um, like using that old footage, like contrasts heavily. It doesn't work. I think there can be a mixing of the two versions, which would have made the superior version, which
Mm.
back in my graduate school days when I had nothing to do during the summer months,
You made your own cut?
I did make my own cut.
Oh my
And
God.
Oh my God, the slicer
Nerd.
cut.
the slicer cut, yeah. I sliced some things, oh, no pun intended. I sliced some things together,
You
and
intended it.
I think it turned out pretty good because there are some things I really like in the original, and in the uh recut one, there are some things I like in that. So I thought, let's merge some of these things together. So
Nick, I feel like you should get like some sort of award for becoming like this nerdy.
I had a lot of spare time on my hands. I should pull that DVD out and watch it.
You No, I got a better idea. Have your girls seen either one of these movies?
Nuh-uh.
So you should take your cut of Superman 2, be like, hey, this is a movie that Daddy shot many years ago. Do you want to see it? And they tell my dad made Superman 2. Just wait until they Google it and be like, wait, he made that when he was like 10? Or
Oh, no, I wasn't even born yet when Superman 2 came out. How old do you think I am?
I don't know, what was the Great Depression like?
49. 49.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, all joke aside, that actually is pretty cool.
Like listen, I had a lot of spare time and I was super bored that summer. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm doing this. So I did.
What video editing software?
Got Windows Video Maker or whatever that was called. I used to,
Yeah.
whatever I had
The
on my
equivalent
laptop
of
at the time.
So
the
just like
equivalent of
Richard
Windows
Donner.
Paint,
What's that?
like the equivalent of Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, but it was a decent enough editor for what I needed it for.
Yeah.
So
There's like in your version, there's like re-edited shots of you in there. Be like, "Hey, look, Superman, it's me, your best friend,
it'd
Nick."
be like
Yeah.
on the Simpsons when we stitched scenes together of Fallout Boy.
Yeah,
Looks like we're in trouble, Fallout Boy. Yes.
I, you're fired. And how?
With good cause.
Uh,
But anyway, so yeah, and some people say the Richard Donner version is better. I disagree. But I think the theatrical one's better, although the theatrical one's way goofier. Now, cuz you said you didn't like this movie as much as you thought you were going to.
no, because well, I only really started to get into the movie probably in the last like 30 minutes when Zod when like Superman finally faces off against Zod and his cronies.
Mhm.
That's when I was like, okay, this is kicking it into overdrive. Mainly because, and here's something what Hollywood has forgotten: you don't need big CGI spectacles. Sometimes you just need a very big actor to trash a set and walk through and like destroy like paper thin walls. That is entertaining to me. But yeah, most of it it just felt very disjointed. Like all the plot elements. Like Luther gets out of jail, he goes to the Fortress of Solitude. He goes to the Fortress of Solitude. You think he's going to do something like, I don't know, interesting or find it. I mean, he already knows about kryptonite, which, by the way, he never uses again. Like I get, like
You only
surely
had that one bit.
I, I guess so. But I mean, in DC Comics, kryptonite's like, you know, is like granite. Like they're like people probably have kryptonite for like for their like flower pots or something like that. That shit's everywhere. Anywho, so he goes for Solitude, finds out about Zod. Is like, I got to find this Zod guy, and then doesn't show up for like another hour and a half. This movie also sucked because it got rid of the greatest character in these movies, Otis.
Otisburg.
Otis Berg. Oh,
Is
gee,
there an
Mr. Lethal, I
equivalent
just thought.
to this guy in the comics?
Not at the time, no.
Okay, he seemed very original. Like he was just put in there for some director head.
They definitely the villains were definitely campy by design.
Yeah.
Well, and I won't take credit for this. I'm pretty sure I saw this in like a video essay that from years ago. But I think like Luther's cronies are meant to be like a I don't know what you would call it, like a bizarre reflection of like Superman's core trio. Like instead of Jimmy Olsen, you got Otis. Instead of Miss Tessmacher, instead of Lois Lane, you got Miss Tessmacher.
Okay, I could see that.
So
Yeah.
I will. Yeah, that's not my take. That's someone else's take. But I've always kind of liked that
A cuz original
interpretation.
take, people. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's like it's like you'll never miss 100% shot you take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
But okay, going back to my problems with Superman 2. So you got the stuff with Lex, which is like very just kind of like it didn't even need to really be in there. Because like all Lex does is like, here's Lois Lane. Oh, I know where the Fortress of Solitude is. You think the superpowered beings that could fly across the planet just by process of elimination couldn't find the giant ice sculpture in the middle of the North Pole? But regardless, we'll move past that. Then we got the whole weird Niagara Fall thing where like Lois is like, I think Clark is Superman. Like you got the kid falling off Niagara Falls, which by the time Clark
Good
changes,
parenting.
yeah, great parroting. I think the mom's like eating like cotton candy, like, that's great, Jimmy.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time Superman changed into his costume and flew over to grab that kid should have been in the water already. Like he was falling for like a solid 5 minutes at least. But okay, moving past that, then you have. I'm pretty sure this moment, and I'm only thinking about this because this moment was more or less recreated in the recent animated show, My Adventures with Superman,
Hmm.
which I'm pretty sure started. There's a lot of these that these movies have that started trends in later Superman media. But it has the oh, I'm going to prove that you're Superman, Clark Kent. I, Lois Lane, are going to put myself into immediate danger. So she jumps into Niagara Falls with the hope that Clark will dive after her because he's secretly Superman, and he doesn't. He straight up does. He's like, "Oh, Miss Lane," and then he's like trying to run ahead, and then uses his heat vision to like to like shoot down a branch. Like it's very kind of, it's like, holy shit, Superman, you're gonna let her die, weren't you?
You
Just to
know,
keep that
Jack
secret up.
Quaid is Jack Quaid is the voice of that Superman in there.
Yes,
yeah.
he is.
That's fun.
Wee Huey
Um,
from the boys.
um, that is silly and dumb, but I gotta say, very true to the Silver Age comics, where like Lois is always like, "I'm gonna make sure that Clark and Superman are the same," and she gets herself into some danger. And Superman's usually a dick about like hiding his identity, even though he's like dating both of them. It's weird. So I mean, you can't fault the movie for doing what the comics were doing.
Yeah, that's true. I do forget that Superman would gaslight the shit out of everybody,
Yeah.
his friends and family. Like I don't know what you're talking about, Jimmy. You're going nuts. Um,
Now, there was a deleted scene that was in the Richard Donner cut where that storyline of Lois trying to figure out Clark is Superman starts at the very beginning of the movie, where she deduces that Clark is Superman, and she jumps out a window of the Daily Planet building, and Superman like runs down to the bottom floor and uses his super breath to like soften her landing so she lands on the canopy and then into like a fruit cart. And then he
yeah,
runs back up and he's looking out the window like, Lois, what are you doing down there? And she's like, if you're up here, and like, oh, and she passes out.
because that's the thing that happens with women in movies at that time. They just randomly faint. Have you guys ever legit seen? I'm not even talking about like your spouses or anything like that, but like just a human woman in general just faint in the middle of like in public.
Yeah, anytime I go up to one and say, hi, I'm Nick, they go,
Yeah.
oh.
And whenever I walk
Oh,
through Target, all the women just apologize. I don't get it.
I was going to say something. I'm glad I was taking a drink there because I was going to say something really dirty. I'm glad I didn't.
usually people just say, "Sir, please leave. You're causing a scene."
Simpsons.
Yep. I wish someone would call me sir without adding you're causing a scene.
So let's talk about how Lois found out that Clark is Superman. Cuz did you get this far? I mean, Gorhan, did you get this far in the movie?
In Superman 2,
Yeah.
no, I got like 20 minutes in and I was just like, this is boring. And so I put on Robot Chicken, the DC Justice League special,
Basically the same thing, I would
and
say.
loved it. And there was this villain that actually I'm thinking about since I watched it. It was the Toy Man, I think.
Mhm.
That was like the doll, like the Pinocchio type doll. I think it's the Toy Man, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking about.
Um, so in the actual movie, they're at the hotel room and Lois is sitting they go on a trip to like expose scammy hotels for
Some
like
sort of honeymoon racket.
yeah.
Okay.
And
And
they're
so
in the
they're in like the honeymoon suite. They're posing as a married couple. And uh Lois is sitting by like the fire and there's like a bearskin rug and Lois is like, Clark, can you hand me my brush? So he walks over it and without thinking, he trips on the bearskin rug, and his hand falls into the fire. His hand is barely in the fireplace for like a second. He pulls it out, and Lois like, "Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand." And she's like, "There's no burn marks. You must be Superman." It's
Well,
like,
That's awesome.
no, what?
well, he starts to go. He does start to do the gaslight thing again, but then he's just like,
Yes, fuck it.
fuck it, and just takes off the glasses. Like, it's me, Lois. I'm Superman.
And yeah, good on him for trying to gaslight, I guess, because that's his move. But like he could have won that one because your hand was barely in the fire. You won't necessarily show burn marks on there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You, so you're saying that if but
Oh, I'm
maybe it
not saying that.
wasn't
uh,
maybe he just wanted to, and that's
m-
why he tripped. It
Maybe
says
I'm well. I'm sorry. Let me back up. I'm not saying that Clark should have gaslit more when he could have. It's just that Lois's deduction skills are sus. It's like if I was walking by and I stubbed my toe, I'm like, "Ow, that hurt," and then continue walking. Shit, Nick must be Superman because the stubbed toe didn't hurt him. It's like, no.
in defense of Margaret Kidder, she did start to come to that conclusion at the end of the first Superman, but then she's like, "Oh, Lois Lane, that's such a silly idea of Clark being Superman."
Um, and
But
maybe and I don't know what's better or what's worse because in the other cut of Superman 2, how Lois finds out that Clark is Superman is that she shoots Clark. She has a gun and she's like, "All right, if you're Superman, then this won't hurt." And he's like, "No, no, don't." And she goes, bang. And of course, nothing happens. And she's like, "You are Superman." And Superman's like, if I was really Clark, you would have killed him. And he's like, "Nope, I have blanks in here." Now,
Oh,
couple of things. Wouldn't have Clark or Superman realized nothing bounced off his chest?
yeah.
just an,
And wouldn't he? Oh, I guess the gun would be lead lined, so he wouldn't be able to see X-ray it in. But
I
Yeah.
suggest you stop worrying about these things and just enjoy the ride.
nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So do you want to tell Gorehound about how everything gets back into the bottle at the end of the movie?
Oh yeah, this is one of Superman's apparently lesser known powers.
Well,
Uh,
first of all, Gorehound, this is important for you to know. The villains, they're at the Fortress of Solitude, and Superman tricks them into losing all of their powers. And so Lois Lane promptly punches the female Ursa
Go
into
Lois.
into a bottomless pit, effectively murdering her.
Okay.
well, I did want to also bring up uh, because again, I had not seen Superman 2 until this episode idea. So circling back to 2013 when Henry Cavill snapped Zod's neck, I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty crazy." But then rewatching Superman 2, Christopher Reeve gets Terrence Stamp into a headlock. Like, "Oh my god, he's going to pop his head off like a he's going to do it."
See, Zack Snyder is a visionary, and he was referencing the original Superman movie.
Granted, I think yes, it is implied that they most likely died in the pits of the Fortress of Solitude. But I mean, it's not like again, you didn't see their head get like popped off. Just saying.
Um, Going back really quickly to the Donner cut, in that version, they do not die because you do see a scene afterwards, which is both a good scene and the dumbest thing in the world, where the U.S. Arctic Patrol, let me say that again, U.S. Arctic Patrol arrests the three criminals and take them away to jail.
Well,
U.S. Arctic Patrol. What the fuck? And why is it at Superman's Fortress of Solitude?
Nick, I think it's also important to note that when America surrenders, the entire world surrenders.
Well, I guess what's funny is like early in the movie they make a big deal about this is Superman's secret headquarters. Nobody knows where it is. Oh, here's the U.S. Arctic Patrol.
Oh yeah, I
How,
see. Yeah.
how do you think Superman gets his mail?
He has a post office.
A
Oh,
P.O.
he has a
box.
P.O. box. But I will
For-
say that scene does end in the other cut where Superman destroys the fortress, which is it kind of works because it's him like sort of like ending his association with Krypton.
and I don't think that happened in the. If I'm, that didn't happen in the theatrical cut.
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
three villains just
How did the Fortress of Solitude get created?
crystals and ice.
Science crystals.
Okay, so it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like sea monkeys. You just sprinkle the stuff in the water and it just grows.
Yeah, kind of like how Elsa makes her sand castle, her ice castle,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
sing it into existence.
I
A
hear that's
wizard
what
did
Ja-
it.
Um, but anyway, so those guys are defeated, and but Lois still knows his his secret. So, cuz explain what happens.
Okay.
Does he kill Lois?
No, but it's morally
Close.
probably a lot worse.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, she Superman dumps Lois. He's like
'Cause
we
he
can't,
can't be Superman and in love at the same time.
right.
Mm,
Like the world's too important. Which,
okay.
to be fair, he was fucking around when shit was going down. Like that bastard heard like people saying, Superman, help us, while he was getting his rocks off. So I think that's important to note. Second thing, so okay, they broke up, and Lois is like, I know, I know you're important to the world, but I just love you so much. I'm so, I just want you all for myself. So what Superman does is use one of his, I guess, lesser known powers of amnesia kiss. He makes out with Lois, and she forgets apparently the last several days because immediately she's like, "Oh, Clark, what's going on? What's the big story? I better get to it." No idea of the Zod stuff. No idea that Clark is Superman.
Pulling a page
None
out
of
of
that.
X-Men or the Men in Black.
Yeah. Well, that would have been a whole different movie if that's how they erase people's memories. You got to make out with Tommy Lee Jones.
Um, yeah. So he gives Lois a big smooch and she forgets everything. So everything goes back into nice little neat little box.
That's pleasant.
Yeah.
I mean,
Roofie smooch.
it's a little cringy by today's standards. If this movie was made today, they could do everything the same, but they would just let Lois in on the secret. They wouldn't put that back in the box, I don't think.
I think every modern take on Superman, except for if it's like their early years dating, does that. Because I know Lois and Clark did that. I think
Superman Returns does not.
what?
Superman Returns did not.
No, it does not. No, it goes back to the. We'll get
Well,
into
we'll
that.
save that for that. I have lots of theories on that movie, but we'll save that for the Superman Returns episode.
Yeah, but I think a lot of more modern takes on Superman have them be a couple. They know they're, this is like just part of their life. In fact, I think in the modern comics, I think Superman and Lois are married and they have a kid. I think in like the modern like DC, like in the mainline DC comics. Oh,
Are we watching the third and the fourth one after this?
yes.
That's bullshit.
Why? You don't want to watch the quest,
The Quests for Peace.
which is amazing because
Are they any good?
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. We'll see
Okay.
about that.
I think you'll like number 4. I really do. I'm not
Number
Okay.
just
four
saying.
is
I'm
a
not just.
canon movie.
I'm not just saying this to set you up, but like I know you're. I know you're the things
You
you kind
think
of
you know
like.
me?
I think I know you well enough where I think you would enjoy number four of how ridiculous it is.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I am. I know what I'm getting myself into, so maybe I'll have a happier mindset.
Number three is weird. It has its moments, but it's weird.
It's got Richard Pryor in it. That's like his new sidekick is Richard Pryor because that's the best idea they could come up with.
I think I need to watch Robot Chicken for like 2 more days, until like I can get back into something serious. So
Well,
Well,
if you have to pick one of the two based on how, based on
I
knowing
like
your
that.
sensibilities, I would focus on number four.
Fuck the third one.
You could try watching the third one. I'm not saying no, but it's
We'll
also
see.
number four is much shorter than number three.
I like it.
But
yeah.
anyway, so cause I take it you're not a fan of Superman 2, The
No,
Adventure Continues.
the adventure. Uh, Friendship is magic. Yeah, a lot of the low. I think a lot of it comes down to like the Lois and Superman stuff worked in the first movie like a lot. Here, the second movie gives a lot more focus to it, but because it's all focused around, Superman's starting a relationship with Lois, and he's pretty much speed running this thing. Like within like what would be considered the first date, he's already decided I need to give up my powers, which brings up a more bigger question. So going back to roughly 1948 or several thousand years ago, whenever Krypton exploded. Um, so uh, Superman's mom is like, if we send him to Earth, he'll be so different. He'll be much stronger than them. And then Jor-El's like, but he will look like them. I can't really do a good Brando.
Right.
So, which is fine. Like, okay, that's a trade off. Like, yes, he's going to be,
family.
yeah.
That's my
You
terrible.
you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
You
But
come to me on the day my planet explodes.
you come to me on the day of my planet explodes. Wait, oh, and yeah, we got to mention, yeah, I can, let's put a pin on that because we got to talk about Brando. But anyhow, he's like, that's like the trade off. Like, okay, yes, he will be different from them, but he will look like them and be able to blend in. Then cut forward to this movie. Yeah, the Fortress of Solitude had a machine the whole time that could get rid of his extraordinary powers and make him like a regular schlub, which wouldn't be a big deal. But according to Superman 1, he was at the fortress for 12 years learning all his Superman shit. And at no point did he decide if he really wanted to be human. Was he like, all right, I'll take a quick bath in some red solar radiation?
I'm guessing he knew about it, but it was like, it's kind of like when like the parents make you want to be a lawyer and you're kind of forced into doing it. And I'm guessing that was the sort of relationship he had. Like, well, I gotta be Superman. I gotta hone my powers. It's who I am.
I, I guess so. Fine, but still,
Then he got a little nookie, and he's like, screw that.
yeah. I will say that that bed that they look on looks so fucking comfortable. Big, it looks like a big fucking pillow. I was like, oh man, I wish I had something like that in my house. But yeah, Superman and Lois Bone, no kryptonite condom needed, Kevin Smith. Um, and then and then literally the next scene, there's a couple of things. So when they get up to Fortress of Solitude, they are, obviously Superman flew him and Lois in. But when they leave, they must have just trekked through the wilderness because that's how Superman gets back, like within the next 10 minutes because he got to go back to the fortress. So that means him and Lois were just hitchhiking from like the North Pole to like wherever they got that car until they ran to that little Hicktown
Right.
diner where Superman didn't think about what it'd be like to not have powers as he gets his ass kicked by a trucker.
Like, I can't believe that Superman couldn't throw a goddamn punch.
No, Like I could get it, like if he's not a good fighter, but I mean, he tries to get back up, but then it's like he gets his ass kicked again. He's like, "Blood, it's my blood." Like, yeah, stupid. You gave up all your powers for a girl. Like, what'd you think was going to happen? Although if this
Wait,
was
how did
Zack's,
he get rid of his powers?
In the Fortress of Solitude, there was like a little machine that he goes in
Okay.
and it strips him of his powers.
Yep.
Okay, so why doesn't he just get him back?
He does. See, so when that happens, the fortress kind of like shuts down. And
Okay.
so he goes back to the fortress to like see if anything he could do anything to get him back. And he finds one green crystal to resurrect the fortress and himself,
Okay.
which again, because they did the switch of directors, all the Marlon Brando scenes were cut from the movie, including any flashback scenes from the first one. He's like, you can't use anything. So the scene in the second one that's supposed to be from the first one of Marlon Brando's hand, but they couldn't use it. So that you had someone else's hand used to be like his dad's. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In the original version,
This is
like
bonkers.
it is, in the original
Mhm.
version, Clark is talking to Marlon Brando, and Marlon Brando's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He's like, "Yes, I do. I love her. I love her." "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yes." So he's getting his powers drained, and Lois is watching this happen, and like the Jor-El disembodied head like looks at her and gives her like the biggest stink eye face you could possibly imagine. Like, bitch, this is your fault. Just remember this. And then when he goes back, he's able to resurrect the AI of his dad, and his dad's like, "Listen, I can give this back to you, but at the risk of losing the whole fortress." So the AI somehow is able to, all of his energy that was him is able to transfer it back to Clark at the risk of never seeing his dad again, because like it drains all the AI of the power or something like that. So he's able to get his powers back that way. Which it's a good scene. It's like the father becomes the son becomes the father.
Mhm.
Okay.
See, it's all tied together in how they was originally written. Because the
Yeah,
two, so
because in
Wait, is
the
this about Jesus?
they
kinda,
a little.
I would say more Moses than anything else. If we're going back to Sunday school,
Okay. Praise be. Praise
yeah,
be.
yeah, because I will say that's a lot better, and that actually makes it have some depth.
Hmm.
Versus, I think, yeah, like you said, it's just him finding that crystal, looking at it, and then the next thing we go, Zod, why don't we take this outside? It's like, oh, he's back to being Superman. All right, cool. No real like power up or anything like that. He's just there.
So at the end of Superman 2 in the director's version of it, Superman at the end goes back in time to like stop all the destruction of Zod before any of that happened.
Aw.
So he does it. He does the ending again, which makes no sense, but whatever. But what's
Hey,
funny
if
is,
it worked once, it might work again.
but what's wild is they still have that scene where he goes back to the diner and like beats up the trucker again. But if he went back in time, the trucker didn't do it. He doesn't know why this guy in glasses is just like fucking with him.
Beating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, we all, I think the internet collectively made fun of Zack Snyder, and rightfully so. Like, because I think in Man of Steel, there's a very similar scene where like a drunk trucker like throws a beer at Clark's head, and then he's like, "I'm not going to do anything." But then you see like his truck's fucking like
Yeah, it has all
mangled
like
with,
the logs in it or something like that.
yeah,
Mm.
Like
which is like,
I'm going to destroy this guy's entire
Ah,
livelihood.
yeah.
yeah. In Superman 2, he doesn't he doesn't destroy this guy's truck, but he does probably send him to the hospital and definitely fucks up that diner and
Hmm.
everybody's meals. Like he's just like, "Here, I'll take this order to go," and punch them across the bar into like the pinball machine.
It's like, I've been working out. Who the fuck
Yeah.
are you? Get out of here. We're going to call the cops.
Hey, he did offer to pay for it. He did have a wad of cash that he
True.
flashed to the owner.
And I'm sure like everyone was happy that the guy got beaten up because no one seemed to like him, but
Yeah.
Still. And where did Clark get that cash from? These are the
Wizard
answers
did
I
it.
need to know.
Morally ambiguous.
He super speed stole it out of the trucker's pocket. Which that's the part that they don't want to tell you.
He sold Lex Luthor's wigs.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, and I will say, like, I know it's kind of like, oh, they're doing the same thing of like, but I guess was that supposed to be that was the original ending of Superman 2.
Yeah, and
Go
they
back-
just yeah, and in the director's cut, they just put that ending back in.
Yeah, which kind of works a lot more than the amnesia kiss, because it's like, okay, yes, I can fix the world from all the destruction that Zod and his people caused, but I'm going to lose my Lois is going to lose her memory of me. So it's kind of like there's a little bit of a sacrifice, to it, where it's like she can never know, and I want to keep her safe from like any, from people knowing that she knows who Superman is. It kind of it works a little bit better than just I'm going to make you forget. Although, granted, you could have pulled that trick with Lex Luthor, like, hey, Lex.
Mm.
There's some YouTube animated short out there where he does just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. It might have been even a robot chicken thing. I'm not sure.
I think
can't recall.
I think it is.
Yeah.
He was like, wow, I should really use this power more often.
But I don't know. I always liked the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I grew up with them. I know they're not perfect. I know we've been dumping on Superman 2 a lot. I actually like Superman 2. Probably more than you guys did, apparently. It is not without its flaws. Uh, but I don't know. I still liked it. Again, I think a merging of the two versions. I encourage you, cuz not that we don't have enough to watch, but I encourage you to check out the director's cut sometime, just because I'd love to get your unfiltered thoughts on that. But
Okay. Yeah, I will say the Brett kind of like the part, like I said, I didn't really enjoy the Lois and Clark stuff because I just felt like they were just speed running this whole relationship,
yeah,
which I just thought was just weird and just like
it's very
not
it's very high school.
yeah, but not
Hmm.
like in the fun way where it's like a soap opera. It's just kind of like you guys are adults. Like you're 30,
yeah.
dude. But I will say everything with Zod, Ursa, and Nor
Nod,
Nod.
nod.
Yeah, that was great. Everything with them was fucking wonderful. Like these guys know what kind of movie they're in, and they are just playing it up. I will say this, like if this movie was like made nowadays, like especially with the way how shows like The Boys depict superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
like them on the moon is horrifying.
Mm.
Like Ursa rips the one guy's spacesuit apart and you see it like expand. You're like, that dude is like pulp. The one guy gets like just thrown off to space, and then the guy in the shuttle gets like freaking crushed. If it was, if they put some gore in there, it'd be absolutely horrifying.
Again, another Superman movie where suffocation is the way people die.
Yeah.
Try to remember,
Just-
does that happen in the third one? I don't remember.
I
I
I've
know
not
it doesn't. I know it doesn't happen in the fourth one because in the fourth one people can now breathe in space. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Although I do like also Zod and his cronies. They're like, something is happening to us. You guys are flying in space and talking to each other. You don't think that's weird? That's the part that's not weird? You being super strong suddenly, that's the weird part? Like, I'd be like, dude, you're in space without a spacesuit. I think that's pretty conversation worthy.
And they're talking in space too.
Yeah, which how the fuck does that make sense? It's a vacuum, but
Just go with
you know,
it.
science be damned. This is a movie where if you go around the Earth fast enough, you can go back in time. I love that they were like, "You're from this planet, Houston." Yeah, like, oh, that's great. Like, I love the fish out of water stuff. They basically, well,
Very
actually, we'll
strange
say this.
substance.
Yeah. I'll say this: they pretty much Marvel pretty much stole the third act of Thor of the first Thor movie from that one sequence. You know, bunch of superpowered beings go to a small western town and fuck shit up.
That needs to happen more often. I'm tired of like big cities. We need to go to like small towns. I also
Yeah,
want to see an action scene in like a grocery store. Like,
like
I mean, like not like superpowers, but just like I don't know, like a John Wick, just like throwing bread loaves around or being smashed into a display of like I don't know,
Right. Yeah.
Coke.
I think the last thing that did that was Stone Cold Steve Austin and Booker T fight through the grocery store.
Untapped potential for an action scene.
I have this image of some scene from back in the day, like 90s movie, where this like big punk guy rips a nose ring out of somebody in a grocery store. And it stuck with me. I don't know what movie it's from. Comment in the section below if you know.
yeah,
If you've made it this far into the episode,
yeah,
Yeah.
let us know.
and you'll win our special secret surprise. This floss.
And I'll make you a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Um, let's see. I don't think we talked. I mean, we focused a lot on Superman 2 because there's a lot of ridiculous shit in Superman 2. Um, but I will say, I think we do have to give some props to Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor of just like, in no way, shape, or form is, I don't know how, in terms of the Silver Age, but if you compare this Lex to like how many other portrayals of Lex Luthor are, it is so, he's talking about himself in the third person. He's not, he isn't just like the smartest man on the planet. He's the greatest criminal mind of all time,
About time.
and he wants you to know it.
It's
Uh,
it's very an original take of Lex, even from the comics. Like in Lex, he was just like mad scientist with weird robots trying to rob banks. Um, this is, I guess, not that far of a departure, but enough of a departure to where it's a little bit different there.
yeah, I mean he's using gadgets and stuff like that. Like his hideout's got that like trap door that, you know, that he uses to kill that one cop at the beginning. Again, another horrifying moment that is, it's horrifying in what it is, but they don't show blood, so it's okay for the kids to watch.
How did he make that like underwater or a subway hideout there?
I'm assuming it was abandoned. I'm
Yeah, but he
assuming
has like
like
all that tech. I mean, I'm assuming it was abandoned, fair enough, but like he has all like the tech and monitors and booby traps and there's a deleted scene where he has like lions or tigers in like a hidden thing that he tries to kill Miss Tessmacher with, and it's weird. Where do you get all that stuff? How do you get
uh, he is the classiest homeless person in New York City or Metropolis. Uh, that is the one thing I wanted to mention. The first Superman movie is very much a reflection of New York in the 1970s, complete with, you know, complete with uh, muggings, pimps,
Can we?
crime everywhere.
Yo, man, that's a bad outfit.
Yeah,
Woo!
and that's
Um,
the that's the only black character in these movies.
you're probably not wrong.
I don't think I'm wrong on that.
Um, I love how when they get Lois and Clark get mugged, and there's no reason for them not to have run away. And Clark's like, no, we should do what he says for no reason whatsoever. Like Lois, like, let's run. And they could have, but Clark's like, nope, I'm going to risk your life for no reason just to show that I'm a wimp. Presumably. Like, what was
Yeah.
Clark thinking?
He's got to play the part. I
I
like
guess.
like here's the thing, like, and I'm pretty sure it was the Christopher Reeve interpretation of Superman that gave Quentin Tarantino that idea that that Clark Kent is the disguise in that, from that monologue in Kill Bill.
Hmm.
But like a lot of other interpretations, like Clark is genuinely who he is. Like, yeah, he plays up a little bit, but for the most part, the way Clark acts is how he just normally acts. Like in a lot of newer media, here he's definitely going for the doofus. Like, whoa, I'm so clumsy.
They definitely play that up in this movie. I don't think he was ever that much of the goofball in the comics necessarily, but yeah. But I mean, I think it's a testament to Reeves' acting because he sells it like it's two characters, and in in that first scene in the original Superman where they're on their date with Lois, and she's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." This is after they flew around, and Clark is there, and he takes off his glass, like he wants to tell. He takes off his glasses, like straightens his back, where he just like does that transformation. That's like a masterclass in acting there. No lines, just all in the looks and physical nature. How he's like this dweeby
He
guy, and
was
then go.
really impressive
Yeah,
with his portrayal, and it's difficult to differentiate him from like a classic Superman. But um, yeah, I mean, I have to imagine he must have looked remarkable when it first came out, and kids' interpretations of him.
You'll believe a man can fly.
yeah. I mean, I will say that's probably like the scene that sells this as one of the as why this is one of the foundational superhero movies is for a small little scene like that. Because if you did you guys see the like the last trailer or the last big trailer they had for the James Gunn Superman?
Where Lois is interviewing him.
Yeah, and it just kind of shows how much the first Superman, influenced other Superman media going forward because he does the same thing where he's like, "All right, let's do it, Cronkite," and then he's like, "Miss Lane." It's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, there's Superman. All right, I see what you're doing." So, yeah, oh God. But yeah, no,
Hey, let's not give let's make sure we give Henry Cavill the right kudos. His Superman and his Clark Kent were exactly the same. There's no difference in between the two of them.
they wanted to murder everybody at every single moment. I do have a few bright spots of Man of Steel that I do want to revisit to see if I actually still like them. So that'll be interesting to go back to go to in a couple weeks.
You know what my favorite part of Man of Steel was?
What's
The
that?
end.
Hey,
Got him. I'm going to get so much hate mail from the Snyder Bros.
you know what? Bring it on. Snyder Bros means clicks. So let's. So you know what? Your god is a hack. I saw Rebel Moon. I saw the director's cut. He's a shit director.
Did you really watch the director's cut?
No, I didn't watch it yet, but
Oh,
I've
good.
I
Don't.
mean,
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm just a glutton for pain.
Apparently. Jeez. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of just had an informal discussion about Superman 1 and 2, generally considered to be the good ones of the batch. So we have nowhere to go but down.
That's right. It, we may go up at some point, but there is a general trajectory. Jesus, I cannot speak. Towards rock bottom, and and trust me, we're going to end on the biggest turd of them all.
What will that
Uh,
be? You'll have to find out.
ooh.
So, any final thoughts from you, Gorehound?
No, you guys are much smarter than me in respect to Superman.
Gorehound will give you $5 if you sit through both Superman 3 and 4 fully, no stops.
Show it to your little
Uh,
goblin. She'll love it.
I'm gonna try to watch the fourth one.
How about this? I'll take you to a Necro Goblinkin show.
Are honestly, I don't really like the band all that much. I
Oh,
started that was my front door, but yeah, just a podcast listener.
well, hey, if this episode gets 100,000 likes, maybe we can get on the podcast.
Oh
Oh my.
yeah, are we supposed to say like and subscribe?
Yeah.
Smash something.
Smash. Just like hit your keyboard. Just go like that. And
Yeah.
Just punch it real hard. Like, um, yeah, I guess we are on YouTube, aren't we?
we
We're
are on
YouTubers.
we're on the
We're on the
YouTubes.
YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch, the Facebook. We're all over the place.
If
We're on at least one of those.
um, I will say this, I don't know much about social media, but I know the best way to get attention is to start beef. So you know what? I'm
Who
calling
we
out
beefing?
PewDiePie. I'm calling out Jake and Logan Paul. Um, who else is big on YouTube? Ethan Klein from H3. My
You're
wife.
digging you're digging this hole yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hassan. Is Ray William Johnson still a thing? I don't know. Philip DeFranco. I'm just listing off names at this point.
You're still going, huh?
Still going. We're coming for you.
Dude,
We are about to throw our saran wrap Superman shield over your face.
Gorhan, you're like, what is that?
Oh yeah, you didn't see the end.
I'm checked out.
All right. Well, I'm ready to check out because I have to do some stuff before I go to bed tonight. So, all right,
Somebody's gonna
gents,
do their homework.
I gotta paint. I'm painting
Ooh.
bedrooms.
Nice.
Pretty pink.
No, a green and a blue.
Okay.
Not red, white, red, white, and blue.
Well, that's the outside of the
Oh.
house, of course.
Oh, naturally. Oh, also we'd be remiss. John Williams score. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can't be beat. Don't try to redo it. Best move that James Gunn did. Just say, "Fuck it, we're keeping this theme song. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. We're not going to try to top it."
Why, fix what ain't broke.
Yeah, don't get Junkie XL involved or Hans Zimmer.
I actually didn't mind the score to Man of Steel. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll say that for the Man of Steel podcast. So, alrighty, y'alls. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you're watching. Thanks for listening if you're listening. And this has been the All New Culture Cast for my hosts, the Gorehound and Cuz.
Peace.
Have yourself a wonderful night, and we'll be
And
back.
a merry little Christmas.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Christmas in July, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And stay tuned next week when we talk about Twilight. Until then, you have yourself a wonderful week.
Bye.
You've been listening to the All New Culture Cast. Drop us a line at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We can't promise we'll read it. Theme music by Dana Vodovaz. Check out their work on YouTube at Vodovaz Music Productions. This has been a Saltwater production. Thanks for listening. There was like a 19-year gap between Superman 4 and Superman Returns.
Mm.
It has now been 19 years since Superman Returns and now. That doesn't seem right. It seems like the last 19 years has gone by like that, and there's like a forever period between Superman 4 and Superman Returns.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, because that was what, 87?
Something like that, yeah. And Returns came out in like 06?
Oh man. Huh. Well, you learn something new every day.